Hello football fans and welcome back to the channel. The FIFA World Cup 2026 continues with an exciting Group H showdown as Saudi Arabia takes on Uruguay in a match that could have huge implications for qualification to the knockout stages. On one side we have Uruguay, a nation with a rich World Cup history and a squad packed with talent and experience. On the other side, Saudi Arabia arrives full of confidence, hoping to build on their reputation as one of Asia's most competitive teams. Can Saudi Arabia pull off another famous World Cup upset? Or will Uruguay's quality prove too much to handle? In today's video, we'll break down the key players, tactical battles, predicted lineups, and give our final prediction. Let's get into it. Group stage matches are always important, but this one could be especially significant. Uruguay enters the tournament with expectations of reaching the knockout rounds and potentially challenging for a deep run. Saudi Arabia knows that every point matters in a difficult group. A victory for Uruguay would strengthen their position immediately. A positive result for Saudi Arabia could dramatically increase their chances of reaching the next round. That's why this isn't just another group stage match. It's a game that could shape the future of both teams in this World Cup. Let's start with Uruguay. Few countries have a football tradition as strong as Uruguay. Despite being one of the smallest nations in the tournament, they consistently produce world-class players and compete with football's biggest powers. Uruguay combines South American flair with tactical discipline and physical intensity. They are known for their fighting spirit and ability to perform under pressure. This current squad features a strong mix of experienced veterans and exciting young talent. One of Uruguay's biggest strengths is their midfield. They can control possession, win battles in central areas, and quickly transition into attack. Defensively, Uruguay is usually organized and difficult to break down. They rarely give opponents easy opportunities. In attack, they possess players capable of creating and finishing chances from almost any situation. This balance makes them one of the most dangerous teams outside the tournament favorites. Now let's talk about Saudi Arabia. Over the past several years, Saudi football has made enormous progress. The national team has become increasingly competitive on the international stage. Their memorable victory over Argentina at the 2022 World Cup showed the world exactly what this team is capable of. That result proved that Saudi Arabia should never be underestimated. The Green Falcons are organized, energetic, and tactically disciplined. They defend collectively and work extremely hard off the ball. Saudi Arabia's biggest strength is their team spirit. Every player understands their role and contributes defensively. Against stronger opponents, that unity becomes a major weapon. They are also dangerous in transition. When they win possession, they can attack quickly and exploit spaces left behind by opponents. If Uruguay becomes too aggressive going forward, Saudi Arabia could create opportunities on the counter-attack. The player to watch for Uruguay is Federico Valverde. Valverde has developed into one of the most complete midfielders in world football. His energy, passing, shooting, and leadership make him incredibly valuable. He can influence every phase of the game, whether it's winning possession, creating chances, or scoring from distance. Valverde has the ability to change matches. Against Saudi Arabia's compact defensive setup, his movement and creativity could be crucial. Another player who could make a huge impact is Darwin Núñez. His pace, power, and direct style create constant problems for defenders. If he finds space behind the Saudi defense, Uruguay could generate numerous scoring opportunities. For Saudi Arabia, much will depend on Salem Al-Dawsari. He has already proven on the World Cup stage that he can produce magical moments. His winning goal against Argentina in 2022 remains one of the greatest upsets in World Cup history. Al-Dawsari brings creativity, confidence, and attacking quality. He is capable of unlocking defenses and creating chances from difficult situations. Saudi Arabia will need him to be at his very best. If Uruguay focuses too heavily on stopping him, other Saudi players could find opportunities to contribute. This match presents an interesting tactical contrast. Uruguay is likely to dominate possession and control much of the game's tempo. Saudi Arabia will probably focus on defensive organization and quick transitions. The key question is whether Uruguay can break down Saudi Arabia's defensive shape. The Green Falcons are expected to defend with discipline and keep players behind the ball. Uruguay will need patience. They cannot afford to become frustrated if the opening goal doesn't arrive quickly. The midfield battle will be crucial. If Uruguay controls central areas, they can dictate the game. However, if Saudi Arabia disrupts their rhythm and forces mistakes, the match could become much more competitive. Uruguay could line up in a 4-3-3 formation. Goalkeeper, Rocher defenders, Araujo, Gimenez, Oliveira, Vina midfielders, Valverde, Ugarte, Bentancur forwards, Pelistri, Darwin, Núñez, Araujo. This lineup offers a strong balance between defensive stability and attacking threat. Saudi Arabia is likely to use a compact formation focused on defensive organisation and quick counter-attacks. Their primary objective will be limiting Uruguay's space and forcing them into mistakes. Uruguay's route to victory is relatively straightforward. Move the ball quickly, create width, stretch the Saudi defence, use midfield superiority to control possession. Most importantly, remain patient. Matches against disciplined opponents are often decided by one moment of quality. Uruguay must trust their system and avoid forcing opportunities. An early goal could completely change the match and force Saudi Arabia to take more risks. Saudi Arabia's strategy will likely focus on discipline and efficiency. Defensively, they must remain compact and avoid giving Uruguay space between the lines. Communication and concentration will be essential. Offensively, they must make the most of limited opportunities. Counter-attacks need to be quick and decisive. Set pieces could also play a huge role. Against stronger teams, corners and free kicks often provide the best opportunities to score. Saudi Arabia must believe they can compete. The moment a team stops believing, the match is over. The X factor in this game is confidence. Uruguay enters as the favourite and carries the weight of expectation. Saudi Arabia enters with less pressure and more freedom. If the match remains level deep into the second half, nerves could begin to affect Uruguay. That's exactly the type of situation where underdogs become dangerous. Saudi Arabia has already shown they can produce shocks on the biggest stage. That experience could prove invaluable. Now it's time for the prediction. Saudi Arabia deserves respect. They are organised, hard-working, and capable of frustrating stronger opponents. However, Uruguay possesses superior quality across the pitch. Their midfield strength, attacking options and tournament experience give them a significant advantage. I expect Saudi Arabia to compete well and remain organised for long periods, but over 90 minutes Uruguay should create enough chances to secure victory. My prediction, Uruguay 2-0 Saudi Arabia. A professional performance from Uruguay and an important 3 points in the race for qualification. Those are my thoughts on Saudi Arabia versus Uruguay. Do you agree with the prediction? Can Saudi Arabia produce another World Cup upset, or will Uruguay prove too strong? Leave your score predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more World Cup coverage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.